Building muscle after 40. What you need to know if you want to do it and if you want to do it right. It's going to be a good one. Grab your coffee. Let's get into it.
No coffee for me, got water,
Water?
Yeah.
It's a water kind of day.
I already had my coffee for the day.
Have you been better about keeping it under?
I just drank, what you call it? Decaf.
Oh.
Yeah. Decaf in the afternoons.
Did you take a little nap?
Tiny one.
A little naparoni?
Yeah.
Oh, you're already dressed for your little event.
Yeah. Going all blacked out.
Do you have a tank top on under that?
Yeah.
Oh. Are you hot?
No, I'm good.
He got you tickets for it?
There's no tickets. I had to go RSVP.
So are you going with Joe?
I'm going to meet him there.
Why don't you tell us what are you doing?
Well, as far as I know, it's a food influencer named Carlos Bradley, which we discovered 2 spots because of him. Thanks. Shout out Carlos Bradley if he ever hears this. But yeah, he's having like an event there tonight. I guess he's known for his pork belly. He's going to be making like pork belly tacos, and he's into wine. He's a super wine dude, so it's going to be like a little event.
That's cool.
Interesting. I'm going to have to try some pork belly tacos.
Pork belly's a lot of fat in those.
I have like one.
A lot of fat and sodium.
I know. I'm not going to eat a lot of them, no.
Kind of gross when you think about it. The belly of a pork.
I know. It's good, though. Pork belly's good.
Yeah.
But you're right, though.
So we officially, I think, launched last week now the teaser video for the new Studio B.
Oh, did we?
Yeah. Yeah, we did. It's on Mauricio. It's on my Instagram and Mauricio's Instagram.
Oh, shit.
And the Studio B. We've
I got to snag it.
We have, relaunched our studio Instagram. Obviously, we're still in the early stages, but it is the teaser. It is going to be a content creator studio. So not just for podcasts, but for content creators in the Bay Area, Silicon Valley area, and not just typical social media content creators, that for sure, but also just various forms of content like webinars, things for work, things for school. If people need access to good quality audio on a set with good lighting, video, audio, all of the, all the bells and whistles.
That's crazy. You move it on up fast.
I know.
We did it all in the same year. We literally just moved into the studio we're in currently now that we're leaving.
Yeah.
Already to another one.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I knew we were going to to be honest, we will probably outgrow this space too. But we won't. I wouldn't necessarily say we will leave it, but we'll maybe expand upon it. Maybe rent more space in the building, or maybe even other locations. Yeah. But I'm excited because right now I'm in the design process, and although it overwhelms me,
are you nerding out?
Well, it overwhelms me at first because it's kind of like when you are putting a puzzle together. Like the first couple puzzle pieces are so hard. But then once you start to get it, it kind of like
snowballs.
Goes. I feel like I'm past that like anxiety, like no idea, blank slate phase. And now I'm like seeing it. But what drives me crazy is when I'm on a creative project, but I don't really feel like I'm a creative person, to be honest. It's not natural to me. But when I am in the throes of a creative product, it kind of overtakes my brain. And I think that's why I don't like to do it. Like I dream about it. I think about it constantly. It's like in my brain,
It's always on your thought process.
Yeah.
It won't leave you alone.
It won't shut off until it's done. So it's like I want to just get it done and then move on, because I'm like I'm in the design phase. Tyler's operations. Mauricio is the pom pom committee.
Committee.
Sales committee. But yeah, everyone has their part. But I kind of am. I want to get the design kind of done. And
I know how you are, because even when we did the current studio, you saw it. I didn't. I didn't know what the plan was or nothing. But whatever you saw that vision for it. I couldn't envision it.
It's hard because it's like I don't really see the vision at first. I have to create the vision.
Yeah. But you have an idea where it's going.
And well, now I do. Now for this one, I finally like have it. I have it, figured out. But
what's funny is I never have zero doubt or way that you'll figure it out. I don't know.
I
give you a lot of confidence.
Every time you say that, it stresses me out more because I'm like, oh my God.
Because I know
this
how
is
you,
the time I fail?
I know how you are. No, because you don't have that as an option in your brain. You won't. I think when people have that, they do. And not to get off topic, you did something extremely hard over a decade ago, competing. And I remember somebody laughed at you, but like, oh, they all say they can do that when it comes down to the diet.
Yeah.
And you're like, watch this, because people don't realize how hard that is. You mastered yourself. That was not easy to do.
You really went off topic there.
I did.
But on the Studio B thing, so we are, it's obviously, we're just kind of teasing it right now. It's going to be fully functional and ready to go probably January.
Yeah.
And if you are listening and you're in the Bay Area and you're interested in content creation, or if you're going to be visiting the Bay Area and you need a studio to do your interviews out of, or if you want to explore, potentially diving into your some content to further your business or personal brand, then reach out for sure.
And listen, this is the way to go, you guys, if you're trying to further your brand, is creating the content, getting out there, getting eyes on it, man. This is the new way of advertising and marketing yourself. You can't
Personal
beat
brand.
this. Yes. Mm-hmm. The best.
It's huge because you really create your personal brand. It kind of goes into everything, It's not just, I think people associate it with, social media influencer. No, actually.
No,
it's if you have a business, you should probably have a podcast to support that business.
Something.
If you have, any kind of skill, you probably should have a YouTube channel to promote that skill.
Yes.
So
Agreed.
that's, if that's the kind of, and no matter what agency you're in, or no matter what job you're in, I mean, we're going to cater to professionals as well. So even realtors, okay, realtors need content.
Yes, they do.
They need professional content. Teachers, perhaps they're putting together curriculum for their classes or whatever, they need content. There's so many businesses that need content creation, and it's overwhelming to the non-content creator.
Yeah.
To have that and do that kind of stuff on their own,
Of course it is. They don't have the space. They don't have the know-how. They don't know where to get started.
It's a lot. It's overwhelming. Aren't you? I mean, you're kind of in that space, and doesn't it kind of overwhelm you a little bit?
Yeah, of course.
So what do? You use Studio B and the skills of Studio B to facilitate your content creation.
Exactly. I mean, without it, I wouldn't have got as far as I have.
Right.
In a short amount of time on my own YouTube channel.
Exactly. All right, you guys, let's take a little break for Mega Fit Meals, and we'll be right back. When it comes to hitting your macros, Mega Fit Meals makes it so easy with their delicious macro-friendly meal prep options. Mike and I are constantly on the go these days, and these meals are a lifesaver during some of our busiest weeks. Whether you're craving chicken tenders, pizza, filet mignon, or even pasta, Mega Fit Meals has something for everyone. All meals are high in protein, made with quality ingredients, and designed to help you crush your health and fitness goals. And the best part, there's no subscription required, so you can order as you need. Save time without sacrificing nutrition, and if you want to try it for yourself, use our link in the description and enter code Janine for a discount. That's code JEANINE. MegaFit Meals has you covered. All right, so hot coffee topic. Have you heard that the new term, heroin chic, is back? Can you believe that?
No.
That is so bad, but that's the new term. It's kind of like going back to the 90s. I feel like we're kind of going back to the 90s, which, by the way, can you believe the 90s was like 30 years ago?
It boggles my mind. No, it sounds corny, but boggles my mind when I think about that.
Seriously.
That's crazy.
30 years ago.
I know.
Anyway, so the 90s was like Kate Moss and, Calvin Klein, that the like pants hanging off the hips, that loose look, very, very thin. And that's what the new trend is. Gone are the big booties and the parentheses hips and all of that. Now it's going back all the way in the other direction.
Wait, you said gone?
Well, the trend. Yeah, it's not trendy.
I was going to say gone, not gone. I still see it, but I guess the trend.
Well, what are they going to do? They did it.
They got it.
They got it.
I still see them in the gym. I'm like, you guys are late to the party, ladies.
Well, I mean, that if you got it, that's what you have now, but it's no longer trendy. Is what I'm saying.
So now they're going back to that other look.
Yeah.
Oh, terrible.
It's crazy. It's crazy how there's trends with body types.
And then, what's funny is, like, don't make fun of us old heads, or you're from the 80s, 90s. Well, if our shit's so whacked, then why the fuck do you go back to our era then? Why do you guys go back to our era and try to copy our era, remake it, recreate
Well,
it?
you know that the Schwartz and Sandy's night on the LA trip that we went to, it was a 90s and 2000s party. And then some people were dressed in 90s and 2000s. You know how weird that feels? That I'm like, it doesn't feel like it was that long ago and you guys are dressing like it's a costume. Like it's a costume.
Yeah.
I probably still have some of that stuff in my closet if I wasn't such a someone who gets rid of everything.
Back to the Armani suits in the clubs we're going to, huh?
Oh my gosh. No, there was no one wearing Armani suits.
In the 90s, yes, there was. Yes, there was suits
I mean,
in
not
the
at
clubs.
this party. That wasn't the style.
I'm just saying the 90s, there was suits in the clubs.
I know. I remember. I went with Danny, my brother, to go buy suits.
Are you going to tell me I had them? I know.
We went to the Great Mall, and he found one he liked, and so he bought one in every color: navy blue, black.
Oh, man.
It had no collar, though.
Oh, what else was corny? Man, sunglasses in the club. That's cornball shit.
That's so corny.
I did that. I'm stupid. Caught up in those dumbass trends.
Babe, you probably were the king douchebag back
Probably.
then. I can
Trying to
only
be a cool guy.
Yeah.
You know, trying to fit in, cool guy.
Trying to be a cool guy. Do you remember when you did when I met you, you had the chain?
The chain?
Yeah, you wore a chain. You wore a chain.
Oh, yeah.
You wore a chain and then you had a buckle.
Yeah.
Did you had a buckle
That was the
bracelet?
Ed Hardy style.
You had a buckle bracelet, like a leather cuff.
Yeah.
You had a leather cuff.
I did. I forgot what it said or what it was, but I did.
I don't know. All right, you guys, moving on to comment corner. God's Angel Fanta says, I have a fear of holes. It's not like a scare in a haunted house. It's more of like a disgust. They make my skin crawl. We were talking a few episodes ago about weird fears and phobias.
Yeah.
So I asked her, that's interesting. Is it like sponge holes? She said, yes, it's like a mystery or something. I don't know how to explain it, but even the holes in a piece of toast, I have chills just talking about it.
Just never know what people are.
Isn't it interesting? Like the way it's just in the brain. There's something.
That's all it is the brain. It's nothing. We're all the same. We're all the same air, same bloodline. Everything. It's air. It's weird. It is weird.
I mean, there's something that triggered that. Or there's something to it because she's not the only one. That's a known phobia is a fear of holes. So crazy.
It's the first time I've ever heard of that.
Oh, there's a lot of.
I'm sure there's tons
phobias.
of stuff.
Yeah. Carla Estrello, 4346. This has inspired me to be a better person. I suffer from AFib. Recently, it was occurring more frequently. I know alcohol was part of the problem. Wine was the culprit. I have since quit drinking. This has motivated me to make better choices. Thank you all so much.
You're welcome. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I felt so good the day that I woke up in our first night in LA where everyone had, first night everyone kind of goes in. Everyone had their drinks. And I woke up like with a cheesy smile on my face, like, I feel great.
Well, I was out at that concert Sunday night at Music in the Park.
Yeah.
And, I got there fairly early. I think I got there like 5:30 or so. And you first see the crowd at first wave. And I'm always scanning people. I'll go with faces. But by like towards the end, like towards I'm leaving, you could tell they're fucked up. I'm like, they're going to be hating life on Monday morning.
Yeah.
And I thought about this because some people with some Niners jerseys and all, I'm thinking like, those people already drank during the day for the Niners game because football season is here. Yeah, let's get faded. It's football. So they're drinking then. Probably sobered up a little bit and went back to this event and drank some more. I'm like, they're going to be toast come Monday morning.
I'm telling you, what I always say is the best part of choosing not to drink anymore is being able to say, I will never have another hangover. That's such a good feeling.
A great feeling. Love getting up, Monday morning, feeling refreshed. Not hungover, or even on Sunday morning, actually. Let's be honest. Saturday and Sunday morning. How many people get faded on Saturday and Sunday morning?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's kind of already hard enough for me on a trip to be off my game. Like, I'm sleeping less. I'm eating kind of out of my norm a little bit. Even if you're being mindful, eating out of my norm. And that feeling is already hard enough.
Yeah.
To add alcohol into it. And now I know it's like I would go on vacations and feel like absolute dog shit for most of the vacation.
Yes.
asinine to think about it.
You're not even enjoying it. You're sleeping in most of the day. You're hurting. You're hating life. You're dragging your feet. You're not in the best mood because you're hurting. So you're really not enjoying it. So what's the point, right?
What's the point?
Could have done this at home and just stayed home.
Yeah.
Go to Vegas. Okay, we're having fun, but then you're
but
hurting
it's
the whole time.
short-lived. The fun is short-lived in
Yes.
the moment. But then
In the moment, yeah.
it's done.
But the rest of the time.
Yeah. And then to come home, it's a nightmare. When I got home, I immediately unpacked my suitcase and put everything away. And I was just happy to grab a snack and go to bed and watch my show. Like, I felt fine. I woke up the next day, I felt fine. You know, I don't feel like that.
Beat up.
Yeah, like that beat up feeling. And
remember the one time, my dumbass, I think you drank with me too. We went from Havasu to Vegas because Havasu was like stormed or something had happened.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't take the boat out.
oh, that was the worst.
And then for some reason that night, got super turned up, forgot that I drove my truck to Vegas. I don't know what I was thinking. Next day, woke up. Oh, I'm in trouble. I'm super hungover. And I got to drive all the way back to San Jose from Vegas 2 days. It's not like I had another extra day to recoup.
I was so hungover. I remember we stopped in Bakersfield.
At McDonald's.
And it was like 105 degrees.
Oh, my goodness.
And I felt like complete shit. I got like a bunch of heavy food from McDonald's to try to get rid of the feeling. But I mean, I felt awful. Like I had the shakes. I felt awful. It was a nightmare.
I don't know how I drove home. How I made it home without falling asleep on the road or nothing. Not only was it hot, I'm super hungover. You're talking about 8-hour plus home drive.
Oh, it was like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Vegas to San Jose.
Oh my God. I remember that day thinking like, this is gonna be rough.
Yeah, it really is. It's
no
just...
Starbucks, no nothing's gonna help. You think like, yeah, I'm gonna go get caught. Nope, that's not gonna help.
All right, you guys, let's take a little break for One Up Nutrition and we'll be right back. When it comes to the best supplements to support your muscle building and fat loss goals, One Up Nutrition has you covered. Their gut health supplements have been a complete game changer for me. And I have to say, their protein powders are my absolute favorites. Mike and I literally order the peanut butter cookie and lemon Italian iced protein powders by the case. They are that good. With so many delicious flavors to choose from, One Up Nutrition makes hitting your protein goals easy and enjoyable. So whether you're looking for supplements, protein powders, or anything in between, shop One Up Nutrition for all your needs. And don't forget to use Janine to save at checkout. That's code JEANINE. All right, let's get into building muscle. After 40, building muscle for us old folk. Over 40, I feel like a lot of people don't realize, for one, I truly think that most people just don't know how to build muscle.
No.
And they kind of just do more. They think they need to do more of what they've always done to try to get it to work.
Always.
You know what I mean?
Always.
I just need to go harder.
No.
I just need to, instead of stopping and thinking, maybe you have to do something that you've never done before.
Yeah.
You know?
You gotta do it. You gotta shock the body. You gotta do something different. Not building muscle, it ain't working. There's something, you're either not eating enough protein, you're not lifting weight properly, you're just moving the weight. You're not isolating the muscle. You're not lifting with intention. That's the most important part there. Intention. Remember that. Go with intention.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so let's just kind of get into why you should want to build muscle if you're getting older, even if you've never cared or thought about it before. Now it becomes what is the Dr. Gabrielle Lyon? She says that muscle is the organ of longevity.
Facts. She's right.
Because muscle and how much muscle we have is a precursor and the number one determinant, they're saying, to how long we'll live. Like if we have, the more muscle we'll have, we will live longer.
Yeah.
And there's a few reasons for that. I mean, obviously, muscle is going to support your bones.
Yep.
And help you prevent bone loss, keep your bones strong because of the tension on the bones.
Yeah, your muscles pull on the bones.
Yeah, so it's going to, and you know, with women specifically, I don't know if men have this issue, but with women, you lose bone as you get older. When the estrogen drops, you actually lose bone.
You know what? That is a good question. I don't think so. Not that I know of. I could be wrong. We have to look into that.
Because your hormones stay steady.
You guys.
I think that's a women's thing. Yeah. And specifically, so like if you find yourself in early menopause specifically, you're even more at risk for like that bone loss because your estrogen, we're supposed to have estrogen into our 50s. So if you suddenly find yourself with, if I hadn't have done something like HRT, I'd be at a risk, serious risk for osteoporosis, which, can lead to falls and things like that. But muscle and building muscle and focusing on building muscle is going to help prevent that. The problem is what I just said, focusing on building muscle. It has to be a focus.
Yes, it does.
Muscle will never just get built as a byproduct of working on something else.
Nope. And you can't just think I'm just going to eat a bunch of protein, slam creatine, do HRT, and it's just going to grow.
Nope.
Nope. Got to go do the work.
Not only do you have to do the work, you have to do the work like you said. You have to do it with intention.
Yes. Got to do it intention. Slow, controlled, time under tension. Take your time.
You have to do it, and
form and technique is everything.
It really is.
Stop trying to go heavier than you can handle. I always tell people that.
You also need to pay attention to recovery. That's huge. Isolating, splitting up muscle groups and paying attention to recovery and not like doing back-to-back things with the same back-to-back days with the same muscle groups. This is why I am so not a fan of circuits. Like people who that's what they do. They do total body workouts, circuit training every day.
That's dumb.
That's their workouts. A lot of women, a lot of women in particular fall victim to these communities and these groups and group fitness and HIIT and these classes of sorts. Because they're marketed too heavily, and that's what their fitness is. So listen, it's better than nothing. So
for sure.
So it's better than nothing. But to me, there's nothing more like frustrating than like if I am someone who's trying to be fit, and so I'm doing these classes and I'm trying to be mindful of my food and all these things, but I'm not getting results. But then I wonder why I'm not getting results. It's got to be frustrating for these women who are doing what they think is good. They feel like I'm a fit person. I go to my classes every day. I go to spin or whatever, but you're not actually getting the results that you seek.
I go to spin and I'm spinning my wheels.
Yes, spinning your wheels is what you're doing. And just like during the COVID times when everyone got Pelotons.
Those things are just...
I just don't think they're a great form of exercise.
We just keep saying it. Lift and walk.
Mm-hmm. Lift and walk.
It's okay to incorporate some cardio in there, but you don't got to break your body down.
Right.
Circuit training is cool once in a while if you want to shock the body. Once in a while. You don't have to do it every day. You know why people do it? Why circuit training became popular? I'll tell you why. Because people got in their head like, in 45 minutes to an hour, I can kill two birds with one stone. I can do my cardio, keep my heart rate up, and I can lift weights.
Yeah, but what they don't realize is the minute you don't do like progressive overload style dedicated weight training, even if you're doing lifting weights in the course of your cardio-esque workout, aka circuit training, you're not muscle building.
No.
It's just you're using weights as a form of cardio, just
Yes.
like you would use a treadmill as a form of cardio.
Facts.
I think that's the biggest thing people don't realize. They think... So many people that are watching this show right now, they're going to be like, oh, shoot. Because they're like, oh, cool. They're saying do strength training. I got that. Do walking. I got that. Yeah, I do all of that at my Orange Theory class. I'm good. I got it. No. The weights you're doing at Orange Theory is via circuit, a few minutes here and there, intermixed with rowing and tread.
Yeah.
It's not for muscle growth.
No.
So... when you hear people like us saying, hey, you need to lift weights and you need to walk, and you're thinking you're doing that, I'm challenging you to ask yourself, are you doing that outside of a classroom environment? If it's a class, you're not doing it. You're not doing it in a class. You're not doing it in F45. Even if you're picking up dumbbells at F45, you're not doing it there either. You're not doing progressive overload, which is what you need, meaning that you're doing the same exercises week over week on the same muscle groups and you are trying to lift heavier or more reps or increase the amount of stimulus to that muscle by reps, by sets, and by weight, you're increasing those things to create tension over time. So you should be able to take a look at your logs after a year and go, wow, okay, I used to do 8-pound bicep curl 10 times for 3 sets. Now at the end of the year, wow, look at that. I'm doing a 15-pound bicep curl, 3 sets for 12 reps. I've gotten stronger. That means my bicep muscles are bigger. And that is what progressive overload means.
Yeah.
You should be able to see change. And then to sustain muscle, you should see you maybe you'll stay the same and you'll sustain your muscle, which is good too. Because what happens when you get older, it's not just that you sustain muscle. If you don't use it, you'll lose it.
Oh, yes, you will.
So you may not always want to be constantly growing your muscles, but you want to at least maintain what you have. And you chart out based on your strength and your ability to lift weights, you'll determine if you're maintaining what you have. If you start to have to drop the weights, you'll lose some. And it doesn't take that long to lose it. If you don't lift for more than 2 weeks, you'll start to lose muscle. You'll start to experience some atrophy. So it doesn't take, it's very dynamic, goes up and down all the time, but it doesn't take long to lose.
What do you do at Orange Theory to do progressive overload?
I don't really. I mean, I do the best I can to maximize when I go to Orange Theory so that I get the best. I don't pay attention to the templates. They already know, the coaches. So I only walk on an incline. I don't care what they're doing, whether they're doing all outs, this, that, the other, I don't pay attention. And then I take my time and lift heavy and do my weights on the floor, according to kind of what they're doing, it's upper body or lower body, but everyone else is jamming through it.
They're like speed racing.
Yeah, it was funny.
Or speed walking off fast.
Speaking of which, today there was a floor. So we were 24 minutes or whatever on the floor. I'm like, okay, cool. I can get a good lift in here. And it said on the thing, complete 4 sets. I'm like, 4 rounds of this particular upper body, kind of like a circuit type thing. And I'm like, 4 rounds? There's no way I'm going to get through these exercises 4 times. It was 6 exercises.
And you need, my opinion, 90 seconds in between.
It depends. That's not always true.
What do you think?
That's not always true for muscle growth.
That's
no,
true.
It's not always true.
More for sure.
No, less. You do not have to have 90 seconds for muscle growth. So we're going to be disagreement on that. You don't.
You don't. I mean, you can do a minute. Not. But
that's for strength and power. Look it up, buddy. Look it up in your nest. So I'm going to challenge you. That's for strength and power. The long periods of rest.
I mean, yeah, for squats and deadlifts, I go longer, 3+.
But yes, I mean, in terms of the time under tension for muscle growth and creating the stimulus, and I do 60 seconds usually, but what I see people do though is they fling the weights around and they're just going through the motions. They're not
you're right,
connecting with the exercise.
At the gym a lot too. Everybody's doing it, and I'm just I know the intention. Some of them are there. You guys want to come lift and build muscle, but you're going way too fast.
Yeah,
way too fast. You're too in a hurry.
I don't get it. But right now, I've been on a kick where I've been mostly going to Orange Theory, kind of just in a chill, trying to maintain my muscle, but not any strict protocol. But I want to enter into a progressive, go back onto it, a progressive overload program. I just been so bogged down. Hasn't been my focus, but in order to keep things going and still be, not fall into, atrophy or anything like that,
do you guys
I still
do
work
squats
out.
Or deadlifts?
Oh yeah,
you do.
Yeah, but dumbbell deadlifts.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of squats. There's a lot of lower body, a lot of squats, a lot of core work, which is great because my core has improved significantly. I'm pretty strong. We did a lot of push-ups and we do a lot of stuff, but it's like conditioning more so. Then it's not for muscle growth. It's for conditioning and for movement and kind of blood flow and
break a sweat.
Again, 2 days a week maybe is good for me. And then like 4 days of weightlifting. So, and then 1 day, a rest day is a good. If you have time to work out 6 days a week, I think that would be good. So you're going to get the extra calorie burn from doing your classes. I know people go, but I love my classes. Then okay, do it a couple times a week.
Yeah.
But you should, if you're doing class 2 times a week, you better not be lifting any less than 4 times a week. If you are, then 1 class only, because you're like, oh, I don't have time. Well, then you only get 1 class, but you should be lifting 4 times a week then. If you want progressive overload, grow your muscles, prevent sarcopenia, Don't you see a lot of like old, it's nice to be thin, right? But if you are thin without muscle, when you get older, what you are going to be is weak and frail.
You want to be able to even open up a goddamn jar.
Of course, now, you have to optimize your nutrition for muscle growth too, meaning that you are getting in enough protein. I feel like a broken record with some of my clients. Sometimes I'm looking at their logs and I'm like,
I know.
Get in your protein.
Like, watch my videos. I give you guys all the hacks.
You have to have the protein.
My goodness, yes.
Why do you want to lift weights if you're doing it for nothing? If you are not eating enough protein, there is no food for your muscles to grow. You're starving your muscles. They will not grow. You can lift weights every single day. If you're not eating protein, you are not going to grow your muscles.
I tell all my guys, like, think of protein as gold. Those are nuggets for your body. That's gold nuggets. You got to put that inside your body for your muscles to grow, man.
The other thing is, the other thing is not being afraid of carbohydrates too.
True.
Because I have a lot of people a lot of women especially tend to have this fear of carbs. You're going to struggle putting on muscle if you're depleting yourself of carbs, because carbs is the preferred fuel source for ATP, which is the energy source that you need to get through a workout. And the stronger you are for your workout, the better mind-muscle connection, the more, micro tears you're going to do to your muscle, the bigger the message is to your brain that says, oh man, grow this muscle.
Grow it, baby.
But you have to have that strength and that energy in order to push to send those signals. And if you're trying to lift weights when you're exhausted or you're depleted, especially if you're in a calorie deficit and you're avoiding carbs, you're not going to have the fuel to do so. You're going to feel dead. You're going to feel like you're walking in the gym with cement shoes.
Everybody thinks that that's the answer. I recently had someone say that to me. I'm just going to cut back on carbs or something. I'm thinking like, why, bro? Why? Who told you? Who's telling you to cut back on carbs? That's your primary fuel source, bro. If you're trying to pack on muscle and get stronger, you need it. Why?
It's like saying, oh, I'm going to try to drive cross country with no gas.
Pretty much, yeah.
How long are you going to make it? You're only going to make it as much as 1 tank.
That's it.
That's what's going to happen to you if you try to work out without carbs or backing off on carbs. You'll have a little bit of carbs in there, but guess what? You're going to run out of gas before you get through that workout, and then you're just wasting your time. If you've felt this feeling before, then you know what I'm talking about. I recently talked to one of my clients about, we had dropped her carbs for, medical reasons or whatever. And, I checked in with her and I'm like, how are you feeling? And she said, not good. I feel like shit without the carbs. I could tell a difference. So we bumped him up a little bit. We bumped him back up. I'm like, you know what?
Don't be scared of some fruit or something, of apple, some berries, something, Mm-hmm. Even a peach, like you like, that's all good stuff.
I love a peach right now. Yeah. Peaches are in season. Man. Speaking of strength and getting that power, that strength, that energy for your workout, creatine is excellent.
Every damn day. That's my morning concoction. I don't. That's the first thing I do before with electrolytes and the fiber from One Up Nutrition.
I feel like people are kind of starting to come around on the creatine. I remember 5-6 years ago when I was recommending creatine to my clients and they thought I was crazy. Like I was telling them to take steroids. I'm like, it is not steroids. Or they all say, oh, I heard you gain a lot of weight on creatine.
That's the biggest assumption. I heard you gain a lot of weight. Mm-hmm. I heard it makes you retain a lot of water.
It does pull water into your muscles, but it makes you feel strong and tight. You know,
Yeah,
your muscles feel good.
Yeah, they do.
They feel good. You don't feel sloshy, you know, that yucky feeling. You don't feel that. It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
But the scale does move a little when you first start taking it. And God, that is so hard to manage the mentals with people. It is so hard. But once you just start taking it and just take it every day, the scale won't continue to rise. It like has its initial, because now once you're loaded, you'll always have that baseline of water in your muscles. So it won't fluctuate unless you stop taking it, start taking it, stop taking it. But if you take the same amount every day, around the same time every day, it won't fluctuate. It'll just fully saturate your muscles with the water, and it'll stay that way. And you won't continue to see the scale rise or anything like that. But it's really hard to.
I mean, look what happened to you when you started taking HRT.
Oh, the scale, 7 pounds.
That must have freaked trouble. You kind of knew.
About a pound a week. Every time I stepped on the scale, it was a pound up, a pound up, a pound up. I was like, I just, I knew I was eating my macros. I knew suddenly I was putting hormones in my body. I know logically that hormones impact water retention. So I knew it's not body fat, and that's all that mattered. And so that's what you have to tell yourself. Now, given that, I know that as a person who's certified in menopause and NASM and nutrition and all of that, I have that knowledge that most people don't have that knowledge. And so it's scary, and it's, they're nervous about that. And so many people stop taking it for that reason, which is why I did the video, which is why I talk about it here, so that people know what to expect. When you start taking anything new, there's a chance it's going to throw something off or impact something. Any new macronutrient, more protein, more carbs, more sodium, HRT, creatine, multiple supplements.
Yep.
Whatever you take that's new might impact something. And you have to kind of like think, okay, I'm going to start taking this right now. I need to pay attention because it's probably going to impact something. Maybe if you get prescribed a medication from the doctor, maybe you have an injury, you sprained your wrist or your ankle, that's going to impact something. So any variable that's impacting your body, whether you're taking it in, you have an injury, something, it's going to impact the scale. And so if you kind of know that, you won't panic so much, including working out, by the way. It's another thing. When you are lifting weights, so I always warn my clients, hey, if you have a heavy leg day on a Thursday and you're weighing in on a Friday, the scale might pop up because that's a large muscle group, your legs, and workouts cause inflammation.
Yeah, they do.
Which leads to water retention. This is why if you are a competitor in the fitness world, they do not work out during peak week, which is the 1 week leading into the competition, because they need to let the body release all that inflammation, because it'll cause the body to hold water. It'll also raise cortisol levels. So you'll feel kind of like a little bloated in the belly.
That's funny you say that. Fighters are the same way. They don't work. They don't train the leading up to the fight.
Because they'll gain weight.
No, yeah, they're trying to get rid of inflammation and water weight to get on that scale and make weight. You're right.
So that's why a lot of times people avoid gaining muscle because they're so fixated on the weight loss. And they say, oh my gosh, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to lift weights because every time I do, I gain weight. One thing I can guarantee you is you're not gaining body fat. It's just a data point on the scale that's shifting because of water retention, because of inflammation, because you're doing something different.
Yeah.
And maybe if people...
We need to get the demonstration, the piece of fat, they demonstrate with a piece of muscle, show you guys the difference.
Yeah, but let me give you that a little rebuttal on that too. I also don't like when people say, they start lifting for a week and then they get on the scale, they're like, oh my God, I've been lifting this week, but the scale's up 3 pounds. It's because my fat turned into muscle or something like that.
No, I know that. That's not what happens.
It takes so long to build muscle.
It does.
So if the scale is skewed by like 5 pounds in a month, you didn't gain 5 pounds of muscle. I'm just going to just burst your bubble right there.
Not even.
It just does not happen that quickly. If you are on a really good progressive overload plan, you're eating your protein and you are really dedicated, maybe a pound of muscle a month if you're like really hammering it.
Locked in, yep.
Really locked in. And that's a maybe. That's a maybe.
That's a big, yeah.
I know I did. I was able to, I had comparing DEXA scans. In a year, I put on 7 pounds of muscle, but I was dedicated. I was working out with Alyssa, dedicated progressive overload, and I put on 7 pounds of muscle in that year. And it was so nice because it impacted my metabolism to the tune. Also, it's not going to impact your metabolism like, oh my God, I can eat 1,000 more calories. But it did make about a 200 calorie difference in my metabolism, which doesn't seem like a lot.
Per day?
When you're tracking macros and you can bump up your calories by 200 calories, it's a big difference.
Yes.
A 500 calorie meal and a 700 calorie meal.
Big difference.
Big difference. So that was kind of nice. Because,
that's a good way of looking at it. Like 200
Yeah.
by itself doesn't seem like much, but like you said, 500 versus 700. Now we're at,
that's a
growing
big
a lot.
meal. That opens up the doors
More
on a lot of
protein.
options.
Yep.
Yeah. So, my overall, I would say my advice to you if you're over 40 trying to build muscle, take a look at your schedule. If you are spending more time on fitness classes or cardio than you are on weight training, you need to swap that around. You need to give it a flipperoon. And you need to, my suggestion would be, listen, focus on a step goal and a minimum of 4 days of dedicated split progressive overload training.
Yeah.
Making sure that you are getting in enough protein. Listen, if you don't know how much that is and you're not working with somebody, keep it easy. Just do a gram for every pound of your body weight. You're not going to need that much, but at least you'll cover all your bases. You're going to get that thermic effect, and you're going to have enough. You're going to have more than enough.
Hey, 2 people that worked on that, I did that formula. My friend Carlos and my sister.
Yeah.
And she's super new.
It's just like keep it simple sometimes.
She doesn't like to track. She doesn't want to. So I say, okay, just here, 1-to-1 ratio. For
Yeah,
your
the
pound of
reason
protein.
why I like that is because that way, if you're getting it from a lot of sources, you're going to get enough from the right sources if you're getting more than you need anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like if someone's like, oh, I do a scoop of collagen. Well, that's not good for muscle protein synthesis, but you're getting more than you need anyway. So that's okay.
Yeah.
And then I get some from, this incomplete protein, vegan protein source. Okay, well, that's not complete, but that's okay because you're getting way more than you need for your muscle growth. So it's okay because, protein in and of itself is not just for muscle protein synthesis. There's also other benefits. There's other nutrients. And there is that increased thermic effect. So there's that benefit as well. And then lastly, I will say, we are big proponents here of HRT. But
Yes.
if you are in perimenopause or menopause, or even if you're not, but you have muscle growth goals because muscle is the organ of longevity, Transcend. Get with Transcend because Transcend is going to recommend, you're going to tell them, hey, I'm over 40, I want to grow my muscles, very important to me. And they are going to not only potentially recommend HRT if you're a candidate, but peptides.
Game changer.
Peptides. See if you qualify for some peptides because they will help you get to your goals faster. There are tons of peptides on the market that will improve body composition, improve strength, help with fat loss.
Injury.
Injury,
I'm
inflammation.
taking BPC 157. My tennis elbow is almost non-existent.
Sleep.
Yep, that too. It's helped me with my sleep.
So many benefits to Transcend. So let's take a little break for Transcend and we'll be right back. You guys know that Mike and I embarked on our HRT and peptide journey last year, and we are absolutely loving it. It's been a game changer for both of us. And if you've ever wondered why you should consider HRT or peptide therapy, let me break it down for you. Everyone's needs are unique. That's why Transcend is all about creating a personalized plan just for you. They'll start by evaluating your blood work, taking into account how you feel and what your goals are, and then help you find a solution tailored to optimize your health and wellness. What makes it so effective? It's targeted treatment, finally address specific deficiencies and imbalances that might have been holding you back for years. Boost your body's natural functions. These therapies can kickstart and support your body's processes, giving you that extra edge. enhance your well-being. Imagine boosting your mood, increasing your energy, and just feeling better overall in your day-to-day life. And lastly, longevity. It's not just about feeling good now, it's about supporting healthy aging and preventing chronic conditions down the road. Transcend will guide you every step of the way. So if you're ready to take your health and energy to the next level, start your own HRT or peptide journey with Transcend today. Remember to use our link, www.transcendcompany.com/ESCO Elite, 15% off for new patients. All right, you guys. So, I thought that was a perfect time for a little break from Transcend because I really do think that they would be a great option if you are looking to have a little assistance, because although nothing is a replacement for doing the work, implementing the healthy lifestyle, getting in those workouts, if you're already doing all the things, why not get a few extra things in there if you can that are just going to help optimize and accelerate what you're already doing?
Exactly.
I mean, I think it's a no-brainer.
It's like throwing a supercharger on your engine. I keep saying that.
Like, why not? The engine works. The car gets you from A to B, but if you throw the supercharger on, it's gonna be faster, right?
Way faster. Way more efficient.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.